Welcome back to the Five Reasons YouTube channel. Alex Toledo, got my guy Brady Hawk here with me. Ethan unfortunately left. He's had enough of us, but we just wrapped up here. We finally finished all our interviews. Get ready. We're going from content drought to content overload. We've got about 10 podcast interviews for the show. That's going to be coming, slowly but surely. We're going to do a wrap up podcast later on tonight to talk about everything that just happened. You can go check out the video we posted earlier on the YouTube channel, kind of wrapping up some of the stuff that we take away. But we're doing this now because finally, Jimmy Butler has spoken. He's here. He showed up. We weren't sure if he was going to show up today. He was usually the best players speak on the podium right at the beginning of the day. We just spent the whole day with everything kind of up in the air, very symbolic of kind of the Heat season, right? Where like Jimmy's status is up in the air, and he comes out here and he answers the questions about the extensions and the way that he's feeling. And of course, like Jimmy, right? He's a contrarian. He's gonna play down whatever you have to say about him. If somebody's hyping something up, he's gonna play it down. And that's what happened. People were kind of, I think, hyping up, including myself. What is Jimmy gonna say? How is he gonna respond to what Pat said? How is he gonna respond to the no extension? And he was pretty calm about it. He was very much like, I hear what Pat is talking about. Uh, I'm gonna try to play more games, and everything is about winning with this team. But honestly, if I'm being real, a little bit underwhelming. Like I enjoyed the drama part of it, right? The suspense of like, oh, when is Jimmy gonna be here? What's he gonna say? Right? He had us waiting. But because of that buildup, I feel like it ended up being a little bit underwhelming, right? No new haircut, which I feel like some of us predicted. No new haircut, and it's just kind of straight business, nothing dramatic. Well, better for us, right? We want Jimmy to be happy and the team to be on the same page so that we can get more podcast downloads. But um, Brady, what were your thoughts on what Jimmy had to say and just kind of his general attitude going into the press conference here?
Yeah, I agree with a lot you're saying. Like he's going to do the opposite. So we pretty much expected that he was going to play this up a little bit more, and I thought that the extension quote is kind of the one that's stuck out to me. I mean, because that's kind of the main one. And just looking at the exact quote here, he basically says it's just a couple. It's extension is just a couple dollars. I'm cool. I'm telling you, I just want to play basketball. I want to be available, like I was talking about, and I plan on being better. I plan on us winning a bunch of games, and it's like that is kind of what we should have expected.
Yeah.
That he was gonna do kind of the opposite way of talking about it, and just kind of he really did. I know everybody's gonna look at the fact that he was late today, but he really did seem like he was like in a rush.
Yeah.
Like he was like rushing in from somewhere. Like he was legitimately kind of seemed like his mind was just all over the place. Um, but it's hard to tell. I mean, it's still early. I thought it was interesting just the way he kind of we didn't get to ask him a lot about the other players. I got to ask him about Bam's shooting. He kind of felt like that could open things up in general. I think a lot of people expect if Jimmy's shooting at the level he was for a good portion of last season, and if Bam adds that in, it gives a different dynamic. He didn't really talk about some of the others, like some of the young guys, Terry, Tyler, etc. Um, but it's you said it, suspense. That was kind of what it was, and it came down to it, and he kind of played it off a little bit. So it really comes down to him. Camp is more important to me than media day. I mean, media day is just he's going to come in. He could have. I think last year when he's playing into the haircut and all that stuff made more sense. Like the last few years, this doesn't feel like a time to really do that. Now with the things that Pat said, it's time to just go to camp and just play basketball.
And the way the season ended.
The way the season ended as well. He has to prove himself injury wise. He has to prove that his body is better. He has to prove all of that stuff. So camp's kind of more important to me than media day.
Well, that does it for us here. We've been here since the early morning, wondering how this is all going to play out. Good time, though. This is a good time. I enjoy the first day of school vibes we get on Media Day. We're finally done with the summer, man. I can't stress that enough. I'm just excited to be able to watch basketball again and share it all with you guys. Actually have stuff to talk about, man. And like I mentioned, content overload coming up. So make sure to keep your eyes out on the YouTube channel. We're going to have all our interviews up there. Kalel Ware, Jovic. We had Pella Larson and Kashad Johnson on together. We had Haywood. We had Duncan. We had Josh Richardson, Josh Christopher, Nasir Little. Just a lot of stuff today. And, glad to be back. Thank you guys. Of course, check out our Discord server. It's in the link to all our podcast episodes in the description there. So I got to say it here. And, of course, check out the Five on the Floor feed. Throughout this week, we're going to be posting all that stuff. So thank you guys for tuning in. We're out.